So recently I've been playing the console ports of the original Five Nights at Freddy's games. And yeah, these games still hold up. But I still have one serious question I've got to ask. What the hell happened to this series? For a long time, the original Five Nights at Freddy's games were considered some of the scariest games ever made. And that's saying something because they were only rated 12. So, how could they take five, I'm going to say five because I consider them the best ones, how could they take five horror masterpieces and turn them into something that is absolute kids? It was kids. Okay, I've been meaning to make this video for a long time. Ever since I talked about security breach in my What Makes Horror Video Games Good video. Go watch that video, by the way. It is actually really good. Wow, I'm tooting my own horn a bit here. Anyway, as I was saying, I've been meaning to make this video for a long time. This isn't going to be about how kids ruin Five Nights at Freddy's, even though they did. But, you know, this is going to be why Security Breach is the worst game in the Five Nights at Freddy's series. Got a lot to say, so let's get into it. Look at this screenshot from the first Five Nights. Now, after all these years, how do these guys make you feel? They're still creepy, aren't they? But, like, you can't quite tell why they're creepy. Is it the eyes? Is it the fact that these things are meant to entertain children, and yet they're still coming to kill you? No, because I think we've proven that that point doesn't really matter anymore. It's that there's something about these designs. They're so kid-friendly, but there's something off about the faces, mainly. There's something off about the eyes that makes the animatronics so terrifying. The way they just coldly stare at you. And we as humans, when we don't know where to look, we just blindly look into the eyes. Because that's how we can tell, like, if something is alive. And this thing, it looks alive, but it's just, you don't know if it's truly alive. And that's what makes the Five Nights at Freddy's, like, first 5-game animatronics truly terrifying. Because you can look them in the eyes and still not tell if they're really alive. And it's not just the first game. Like, I'm going to show you a couple of screenshots of the next couple of games, and you'll see that this point still stands. They all have something in common, don't they? They're all creepy, but you just can't tell why. They all have this thing about them that just makes them so unsettling to look at. So, please explain to me what the hell this is. To me, a Five Nights at Freddy's good character design needs to look like they'd be kid-friendly on the surface, but have something creepy about them. Look at the designs from Security Breach, and compare them to the designs of the other animatronics. Now, what do the original animatronics have that the Security Breach characters don't? That's right, they're freaking creepy. But Security Breach animatronics, they're not really that scary. In fact, they don't have anything scary about them. Their jump scares aren't even that scary. And really just, they're trying to market this as a horror game, as the 9th entry in one of the most legendary horror game series ever made. And yet they give us characters that look like this, when we're used to characters that look like this. I'm going to use Withered Freddy as an example, because I think he's, a really good example of this. But yeah, this is how they should look. I think most of the terror should be in the eyes, and the rest of it in the character design. And really, they just look dirty, man. They're supposed to look dirty, they're supposed to look old, worn down, creepy, and even if they don't, they should at least have these lifeless eyes. Every character in Security Breach has a personality, which I think takes away from the actual terror. It just feels like you're being chased by something that, won't shut up. In the other game's case, you're being pursued by something, but you don't know what it is or what it wants. And that is true terror. I'm not just gonna blame the animatronics for this. Obviously, we still have the atmosphere. So this is the office in the first Five Nights at Freddy's game. Throughout Five Nights 1, you're trapped in a dark room with, the previously mentioned creepy animatronics coming after you. Obviously, this office is not the place you want to be for 6 hours, is it? But the game forces you to be in this really, really creepy area. Now, this is a room in Security Breach. Look at this. This doesn't look like it being a Five Nights at Freddy's game, does it? But it is. Oh God, it is. Just, if someone came up to me and said, for the next Five Nights at Freddy's game, the light should always be on, everything should be neon and lit up, and you can clearly see the animatronics, who are not scaring the slightest, I'd say, what are you smoking? Give me some, and you're fired. Just, whose idea was this? I get it's meant to be a mall or something, but it's closed. And it's, at 12 AM. This place should be dark. This is a freaking Five Nights at Freddy's game, damn it. And yet, it's not dark at all. I mean, the least you could have done is at least brought the brightness down a little bit, just to make it, a little bit creepy, or at least a little bit like it is in the first couple Five Nights games. That's all you had to do. But, It's all about the jump scares, right? The atmosphere absolutely ruins these jump scares. Because they're running after you, you can instantly tell when a jump scare is going to happen, and because of the light, you can always see them, so not once in any of my playthroughs of Security Breach did I get a jump scare and actually feel scared. Unlike in all the other games where I've had at least 5 jump scares where I've actually felt some level of disturbed. But, that's just the way it is. In Security Breach treats jump scares as more something to be annoyed about, just something to say, haha, you lost. In the original FNAF games, a jump scare shows you that you messed up, and truly is terrifying, because they build up the jump scares. Security Breach doesn't. It's just, Security Breach, I will say, as much as I whine about it, I don't think it's a bad game, I just think it's a bad Five Nights at Freddy's game. And I don't know if you can blame me for thinking that, because of all the points I've just laid out. Alright, thanks so much for watching. I know it's been a short video, but Danimation out.